My name is Anna Schaefer, and this is my audience. I'm sure we've all been there in high school or sometimes even as early as middle school. If not several of your teachers, if not one, several of your teachers chose to spend the first few days of the year or even the semester by discussing learning styles. Most likely they told you what they were and maybe even had you take a silly quiz to try and determine what your learning style is. After that, they moved on and proceeded with whatever the class was supposed to be about. After looking some of my textbooks and online, I've been able to learn a little more about what learning styles actually are and what they mean. Considering many of us have been in school for 12 plus years, it can most likely be assumed that we have a decent understanding of certain methods that help us learn and study better for our tests. But does that mean the techniques that we found are the only ones that are going to be beneficial to us? No, it doesn't. By determining your learning style, a person can use other methods of learning and studying that have helped other people with the same learning style succeed. The idea of learning styles is by no means a new concept. As early as 33 BC, Aristotle said each child possesses specific talents and skills as he noticed individual differences in young children. From then on, the idea evolved and became what it is today. As it stands, there are 7 total learning styles. Visual, which involves picture images and special understanding. Verbal, which is words both in speech and writing. Social, which means learning in a group or with other people. Physical, the use of body, hands, and a sense of touch. Logical, which is the use of logic and reasoning systems. Solitary, which is working alone and self-studying. And aural, the use of sound and music. You can determine your learning style by asking yourself certain questions. For example, if you're unsure how to spell a word, how do you figure it out? If you trace your finger in the air, you're more likely to be kinesthetic or body. If you write down the word to see if it looks correct, you're more likely to be a visual learner. If you spell the word out loud, it's likely that you're an auditory learner. Of the 5 learning styles, visual is the least common type. 59% of people are in 3 main learning styles: logical, aural, and kinesthetic. The most common type of learning is bodily or kinesthetic. Being that there is so much that can vary within a person's learning, such as their intelligence levels, willingness to learn, and as well as any other developmental issues a person may have, there are many myths about learning styles and how to use a person's style to its full benefit. For example, learning styles are subconscious preferred methods of learning, not the only way a person can learn. If a kinesthetic learner is to sit through a lecture class, it's not that they will not learn anything, it's simply not the most effective way for them to learn. So now you know all you have to do in order to potentially better your studying habits is figure out your learning style by asking yourself questions such as, do I work best when it's quiet or with background noise? Or do I think mainly in pictures or in words? If you determine that you're visual, kinesthetic, or a logical learner, you fit into the main categories of learning. It's important to keep in mind that although your learning style may prove to be helpful in learning, you are by no means limited to learning in the style alone. And this is my audience again.